time for all your binge-worthy pop culture news. Welcome to Up and Adam.
Hey, guys. Welcome back and happy Friday. I know that we talked about this in our Dubai recap. Normally, we do these recaps on Thursday, but yesterday was our anniversary, so here we are today. Guys, welcome into the room. If you haven't already, go ahead, smash that like button. We have a lot to talk about when it comes to Dubai. We have this dark comment. Lisa lost her mom, which is super unfortunate. I've read a lot of nasty comments about that on Twitter, which is gross to me. But also Diana's opening up about her miscarriage. And we have Kathy Hilton, who's still noticeably absent because of Paris Hilton's wedding. So lots to talk about. With that, let's welcome Jason.
Hi.
Did you have a good
Beverly Hills. Now we can have an actual recap.
Yes. Did you have a good
Dubai?
15-minute break?
Yes, I needed a 15-minute break. Listen, guys, I had food poisoning yesterday. It was not the best experience I've had, but yeah, I feel good. And you have me for 30 minutes because then I have to run to appointments. But I do have to say, Beverly Hills, I mean, it's just bringing it this season so far. But like you said, I completely forgot Kathy Hilton was involved in this season because we haven't seen her at all.
No, we haven't seen her yet. I think that we won't get her for like another 2 or 3 episodes, actually. But I am excited to see Kathy come in because there's a lot of drama surrounding her. But with that, we still have drama so far. So Jason, I'm going to kick it off with you and let the chat decide for themselves as well. If you could rate this episode of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, I think I'm going to give it a 7.5. What are you giving it? And chat, what are you giving it?
I'm right there with you. I think it's a 7.5. 7.5. It's a solid episode. The only thing that I have trouble with, and I know we just talked about this on our Dubai recap, is everything in Beverly Hills right now is so heavy. From Dorit's burglary to Crystal feeling violated by what Sutton said, to how Sutton acts sometimes, to Lisa's mother passing, which is awful. Like I'm damn that my heart breaks for her. Erika again, like everything is just, it's like and I feel like we're going to be dealing with Dorit's robbery this whole season, which I understand that was a big thing. It feels a little heavy. The only person who is not feeling heavy is Garcelle. And the only reason I say that is to watch her this episode, buy a house, have her relationship with her sister. I find her so much more interesting to watch than half the things we do talk about, you know? And I love how Garcelle is pushing people to say what they need to say and say, you know, keep it going on, keeping the story moving.
I hope that losing her job on The Real didn't affect anything with the upcoming house plans, because that's kind of sad. But she did buy a beach house. Huh?
Probably not.
Yeah, probably not. But she did buy a beach house, and she's wanting to, you know, tear down this house that we saw that was just, that's exactly what it was. It was a tear down. And she wants to build this big, beautiful home, kind of reminiscent as to what Heather Dubrow wants to do for her family. But Garcelle wants to have a place for her sons to be able to go and have family time and leave that and pass that legacy on. So I think that's absolutely incredible. And getting a little bit of her backstory as to where she came from when she grew up. She didn't know a lot of people who owned 2 houses. She didn't know anyone who owned 2 houses, let alone even 1 house. So sharing this moment with her sister, I thought was very special. And kudos, honestly, to Garcelle to be able to pull this off. This is huge, especially in the state of California, where we know the taxes are absolutely ridiculous. The price points right now are insane. This is a big accomplishment.
Yeah, 100%. I love watching that side. But listen, if it wasn't for Garcelle, we would be going nowhere this season so far.
I mean, Garcelle is bringing it. Now, we do see the women. They're about to go to Mexico. But before they do, we get a couple little tidbits, conversations, right? This is one of them. When Kyle's sitting down with Crystal, she's telling Crystal how exhausted she is from her niece Paris Hilton's wedding. It was a 3-day wedding. And when she had this wedding, it had to be over the top. It had to be flawless because there were a lot of eyes on her. And that's why Kathy Hilton is so busy at the moment. She's not putting any time or effort into filming because she's like, this is my daughter's hopefully only wedding. She's been waiting a long time. Paris Hilton's 40 years old at this point, and she really wants to make sure that this is the most special. We saw Paris in Love. We saw it on Peacock, and we saw where Kathy was really involved in the whole planning process, and even calling Paris's husband a groomzilla. So I can see that Kathy was definitely invested in this. By the way, guys, 200 in the room already. Go ahead, smash that like button. Let's get to 400. Now, when Kyle is talking to Crystal, it starts off with this sort of cotton candy conversation of the Paris Hilton wedding. But then from there, it goes into this dark comment. Now she says to Crystal, are you going to share the dark comment? And Crystal's like, you're not going to get it out of me. No, what she said was very problematic, but I'm not going to repeat it. And Crystal's sitting there just saying, I'm not telling anyone what it was. And Kyle's like, okay, Crystal, do you not see a problem with that? Because now you're leaving all of us with our imaginations to wonder, and it comes off really bad for Sutton. This looks really bad for her. And Crystal's like, well, this is how I feel. And again, you guys are invalidating how I feel. And then Kyle hits her with I feel like you're gaslighting the situation.
I mean, it did feel like that. I have to say, you can't just say that. It's like when, I know something about Adam, and it's not good. It's not good. And you run around saying that everywhere. And then you've come to find out it's not that bad, but you're not willing to say what it is. And that to me is just a little
dangerous.
I really enjoy Crystal so far this season, except for this little thing. She said lesson learned, I won't do that again to Kyle, but I feel like you're walking a thin line. And later, Garcelle even pushes Crystal to say if she said something that dark, because the way she made it sound is this is something that will ruin Sutton.
Right. And she said this is something that makes Garcelle wonder, do I want to have a friendship or any sort of relationship with this woman, the way that you're making it, this sound, which I want to pan over really quick, because before we go to Mexico, we had a few more conversations, and one was between Garcelle and Sutton. And Garcelle's sitting down with Sutton, and she's like, I want to know what the comment was. And Sutton's like, honestly, Garcelle, I don't know. Garcelle's like, come on, you must know. If you said it and it was that dark, you must know what you said. She's like, the only thing that comes to my mind is I had a conversation with Crystal. And when we had a conversation, I told her that I was teaching my daughter, my white daughter, to have multicultural friendships and relationships. And I thought it was great seeing her swim in the pool, in the jacuzzi. And she had a black friend and a Chinese friend and a redheaded friend. And Garcelle's like, what? That's the dark comment? No way.
I mean, listen, that doesn't look great on Sutton either. I think there's a way you can teach your kids to love everyone or play with everyone. It's not like you have to have the UN in your pool to be an open person. You know what I mean? But I didn't think it was exactly what Crystal led on to be. I thought it was going to be something almost racist or something a little more like dark.
I mean, on it, dark is like, listen, last season, I understood when Crystal said she felt violated, because you walked in, she's explained that she's dealt with struggles with her body for a long time. And in that moment, she felt violated, and everyone focused on the word as opposed to how she was really feeling. I get that part. Okay. But Absolutely. This season, saying that she said something really dark, she has a family, she has a brand, she has businesses. Like she said, she's a part of a society over there in Beverly Hills. That really could be something that's damaging, especially if you're not elaborating on what that could be. And Garcelle is really, and this is the one thing I like about Garcelle. She will call out Erika, she'll call out Lisa, and she's friends with Sutton, and we thought Crystal, but she's still calling them out too. She's telling Sutton, she's like, I don't know if I believe that, because how can she be saying that this comment is so dark and that's the best you can come up with, Sutton? Come on. And Sutton's like, Garcelle, I don't know what else to give you.
Again, this is Garcelle trying to move this along. Like, otherwise we would spend episodes on this, this is good. The conversation needs to happen, and we need to know. There's got to be those arcs and those conclusions.
I mean, listen, I agree. There was another conversation that was had too, and it was between Erika and Dorit, and they went out and met up for lunch. Now, in this conversation, we see where Dorit is filling Erika in, and she's letting her know that she's doing this EMDR therapy, and it's painful. It's helpful at the same time, but it's helping her manage her anxiety. And then this is where the topic of Lisa Rinna's mother, Lois, comes into play, where they're talking about, did you get the message? Lisa shared a message with all of the ladies, letting them know that Lois had a stroke and that she had to go into hospice. And Lois's passing wish was, please do not keep me alive if they have to keep me on tubes and have to put me up, like hook me up to a machine. We've seen Lois on the show. Like Lisa Rinna said, everyone loved Lois. And I was reading on Twitter, which this is the part that really bothers me. is that people were sitting there slamming Lisa and saying, you know, like, this is karma, you know, just like your tagline said. That's not karma. She's a human being. Even if you don't like her on the show, Lois didn't do anything to anyone. You know what I mean?
Yeah, everyone has a mother, and you know, it's hard. I don't think, and everyone grieves in different ways. And Lisa did come off a little like, okay, well, I had to do that. Now that's done. But everyone grieves in a different way. Everyone has a mother. Everyone has a family. And yeah, there are points where reality TV is not important anymore.
Right.
God, I would hate to be the server for Dorit and Erika. They just, that's all I could think about when that scene was happening. I was like, I would hate to be that server.
You know who I love serving the most out of all the housewives because she was just so easy and she just wanted her Casamigos?
Denise.
Denise was the easiest person ever to, like, she would come in. She was absolutely sweet to everyone. She just wanted Casamigos. She was so understated in how she dressed. She's like, I don't need to run you guys around. Please, just the Casamigos. She likes the Reposado. She doesn't want the Blanco. Very simple. Two totally different things. It's in the color of it. That's it. She was the easiest person to serve. But then Dorit and Erika do have this kind of way of being like, can I get an excuse me, hello? And I'm
Can I get an Arnold Palmer and a Niçoise salad? Like, that is the typical LA order anyway. I mean, listen, I do like a Niçoise salad, so I'm not gonna.
Yes. Johnny Tsunami, Lois was a sweet lady. Rest in peace. I agree. Yeah. I felt so bad for Rinna.
I'm glad they gave us that montage too. I thought that was nice because she has been such an important part of the show. You know, we remember her for seasons and seasons being with Lisa. So that's actually a relationship I liked Lisa Rinna to have, like with her mother. That was interesting to watch.
It was kind of a softer side of Lisa that we got to see instead of the pot stirring side. And, you know, one thing that I have to say that I thought was special was when Lisa Rinna was saying that her daughters got to say goodbye to Lois, and, you know, it's like she held on for that moment. So it seems like she got the closure that she needed. And this is how we all end up going to Mexico and getting Lisa Rinna in Mexico, because she said after talking to Harry and her kids that Lois wouldn't have wanted her to sit back. She would have wanted her to participate and move on and have laughs, share memories, and keep on going. So that's exactly why she went. But before we go to Mexico, we have one more conversation, and it's with Kyle Richards and Diana. Now, Diana said it took her an hour and a half from Beverly Hills to get into Encino. And guys, we lived in Sherman Oaks, right next to,
which is in between Beverly Hills and Encino. It doesn't take an hour and a half. She blamed it on her old navigation or something like that. And I think Kyle said something to the point of, well, that's why you don't drive Bentleys with their old GPS system. But who doesn't use CarPlay now?
I mean, listen,
you know, let's be real. But this is where Diana gets me, and this is why she's so not likable. And I'm sorry you didn't ask me a question. I'm just going to give you my opinion.
Okay, go ahead.
But we go through these stories about how hard it was for her to grow up and where she came from, and growing up poor and had to work so hard to, I can't go into a store because of my allergies and my staff has to go ahead of me to set up my hotel room. I'm like, girl, you just sound so unrelatable. I can't relate to any of your stories anymore. Or do I feel sorry for you? No.
Yeah, but
am I wrong? I mean, listen, I like her. I think she's interesting, but she seems to be very hypocritical in the way she describes growing up, you know, and working so hard and having many different jobs, which I think she said the first time we met her, to I can't go to a store because of my allergies. Things need to be the way I want it, or how I want them when they come in. Listen, good for you. You have your businesses. You obviously have the money. You're employing people to work. Great. But like, you lose me every time, or she loses me every time.
Yeah, no, but she did. I mean, I had some sympathy here for her in the sense that I didn't like where she's like, I got lost after an hour and a half. And, you know, like, I don't even know where Encino is on the map. I have no clue where I am. And you can tell where Kyle's like, girl, goodbye.
Hold on. I thought you had 7 houses in 7 different countries.
That's not adding up, Diana.
Not adding up. Does it look cute? You don't know where the valley is and you're trying to be all, you know? No, it doesn't look cute. You're obviously very well traveled. You have a house in London that was designed by Fendi, or maybe that was the old house. Who was the new one?
The old one was Giorgio Armani, and then a London flat that was designed by Fendi.
Don't pretend you don't know where Encino is. Encino is the new Beverly Hills anyway.
My heart did kind of break for Diana, though, in this episode when she was talking about the fact that, you know, she had a miscarriage, and she said that she had a miscarriage after about 5 months of giving birth to her daughter. And she shared the story, and she said she really would like to have more kids in the future, depending on how this works out for her. And Kyle's like, I couldn't even imagine having kids at this age. But Kyle shares some more exciting news that her daughter Farrah has officially gotten engaged. Now, I thought this was pretty cool of Farrah, and I'm not trying to like give anybody major props here, but she went to Paris's wedding. She turned her ring around. She wasn't trying to make the moment about her. And Kyle's celebrating, but she didn't want to ruin that moment for Paris. Okay. Not like that would have taken away anything from Paris anyways. Let's be real.
Who would do that? Go to someone's wedding and be like, oh my God, I'm engaged. And then the whole attention turns. Of course,
we saw Vanderpump Rules where Sheena and them tried to do it to James and Raquel.
I mean, look, where is James and Raquel right now?
That's true. That's true. Now, but going back to it though, Kyle was just saying, I can't wait. I couldn't imagine to be a grandma or a gamma or a nini or a nana or a nana or whatever. And she's like, that would be the capacity that I would want more babies to be brought into the family. But for me, I'm good on this. I'm done. Now, we've hit all of the conversations before we end up going to Mexico. And the women are happy that they have a rich friend. And that rich friend would be Diana. Diana booked a private jet for all of the women to go to Mexico. And they're all happy because we know that Erika is not going on a private jet anytime soon. Okay?
Neither is Lala Kent.
Neither is Lala Kent.
No PJ
okay?
for Lala.
No PJ for, and I love that Dorit's like PJ, and we heard Lala Kent say that like 500 times on Vanderpump Rules. She's like, BJ's for PJs. We're like, okay, that's, your daughter will be watching this one day, but no, I mean, that's fine. Whatever you say. Now, when we go to Mexico, what else was interesting to me, and you asked me this, and I said, Diana is worth a lot of money, but she flies her teams out to go to the location that she's going to vacation at, or that she's going to for business, and they get there ahead of time to set up her clothes, set up the room, have some champagne, put out candles, make sure it smells good, make sure that the vibe and the ambiance is good. And if they green light it, then she knows that she's coming into a safe space. That has to be expensive as hell.
I said that last night and you were like, well, she has businesses. She's worth $300 million. I'm like, how many times are you going to do this with your 7 homes or whatever all over the world and then fly your staff and go here and have all this stuff? How many times you can do that before that $300 million disappears? However, you said that she does have the music production business. She has a lot of businesses that I guess have great income. So I'm really curious to know more about Diana.
This is a great question too, Johnny Tsunami. I wonder if flying her team out is a tax write-off.
I think it is.
And she didn't book the PJ, it's hers. Okay. I don't know if I said book the PJ, but no, she said that she has private jets. But point is, we end up getting to Mexico. And when we do, we have everyone arrive, and then we see Lisa Rinna show up. Everyone's excited, but I thought it was funny when they're all talking. First of all, I was not expecting Erika to be in the car with Sutton and having any sort of laughs with her. I don't know if it's what she said, mixing the Lexapro with the alcohol or whatever, but she's calmed down a little bit and she's just like having a good time over there. And they're making fun of Dorit because Garcelle, Sutton, and Erika are like, I can only imagine that Dorit is probably in the car speaking Spanish right now to the driver. That's exactly what she was doing.
How embarrassing. It's fun. Like, I wouldn't do that. I would let my sister, who is Mexican, speak Spanish, but when they speak back to you in English, it's kind of like when you're in Quebec. Like, I could speak French in Quebec a little bit, and they answer me in English. And like, don't do it. Like, I speak English. I'll say it's 20 minutes, and then when they repeat it again, 20 minutes after you've tried to ask again, I don't know. It was funny.
It was kind of cringy though, and like Erika even said, she's like, "We speak English too, mother." Like, you don't have to sit there. But I think this is Dorit's way of sort of trying to show off that she speaks a bunch of different languages, which is amazing because that's hard to do. I mean, I barely can speak English, let alone, 4 other languages. And maybe that's why Dorit has a blender of an accent where she's like, she kind of crosses over back and forth, right? But
I don't know. She didn't have one when she was in Connecticut.
I mean, she adopted it, okay? She adopted an accent, and we'll leave it at that. She adopted a different way of speaking because there are videos that surfaced of her from a long time ago when she was doing fashion shows way back when, and she kind of talked like this. She would talk like this, and now she's like, PK, would you like a cup of tea? Yeah.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah.
Never gets old.
It never gets old. So they end up getting to the villa, whatever, the hotel, And they're all talking a little bit, and Lisa Rinna arrives, and they're all hugging Lisa Rinna. And she said, you know, something that I thought was kind of big of her. And this is the same thing that Dorit said. She's like, I don't want to make this a sad moment. I don't want to make this a sad moment. I want, you know, Lois would have wanted us to celebrate her life. So that's exactly what I came here to do. We don't need to sit here and like, you know, all cry together. Let's leave it at that. And my heart did break for Lisa in this situation when she was crying. We saw kind of, I guess, her humanized as opposed to being the one who's like stirring the shit all of the time, which really sometimes is irky, right? Can I say irky?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So I feel like we saw her a little bit humanized. Now, I see what everyone's saying in the live chat. She made up the dark comment, LOL. It wasn't dark at all. To be fair, Crystal did elaborate on Watch What Happens Live when she was on with Chanel Ian, and she said, that was not the dark comment that I was referring to. Okay. I didn't find the poll comment that problematic. I'll take that back, but that was not the dark comment.
Now there's another comment.
And she said, I am not going to say it. Sutton and I have had lengthy conversations. She's apologized to me both privately and publicly. Let's leave it at that. And Andy even said, oh, so wait, there's another comment. And Crystal's like, let's leave it at that. I shouldn't have ever brought this up. I'm sorry that I did. I don't want to dwell on it. So we actually don't know what the dark comment is, but it's not the pool comment. I mean, are you sick of this already? This storyline?
No, you know what I'm not sick of, and what we got the premiere of at Punta Mita in the dinner?
What? Where
everyone was stirring shit, which I'm sure you're about to get to, is the premiere of Lexa Prerica.
Lexa
Prerica has decided to join us on television. And I'm not going to say I agree with Erika on anything or any of her choices, especially not giving any kind of empathy or statement about the victims, which would be very easy to do. And I think a lot of people would be forgiving to that. But now we have Lexa Prerica. And when she is on the Lexa Pro and drinking, you could watch this for days. I'm not saying that's healthy.
No. It's a different Erika, though. It's like guard down Erika, just like, you know what's so funny is I always say this when I'm doing pre-records on my channel. This is not a Erika bashing channel. I'm not ever trying to bash her. I don't agree with her statements about the victims. I don't necessarily know what happened behind the scenes. Jason and I were not in her relationship with Tom Girardi, so I'll leave that one alone. It's the statements that I don't give a fuck about anybody but myself. And you think it's cool to be on the side of the victims?
I try to put myself, you know how we always try to at least play devil's advocate and understand where people are coming from. And I get it. And I know her legal team is really trying to protect her, I'm assuming. But it would just take a statement. I think we talked with Emily about this, Emily D. Baker. Like, it would just take a statement, either from the lawyers or from her, just something like acknowledging that she feels some kind of way. I don't know. It's hard. It's really hard to, no one knows what's really going on except the person.
And see, that's the thing that kind of annoys me a little bit. And Zach and I will fight about this all the time. And Jason listens and he's like, I don't even know, like, there's no point to even continue this conversation. But and love Zach. So this is not a diss on Zach. But when we have these conversations, Zach's like, she can't speak out and she can't put out a statement. Well, then why are you saying something like, okay, you know, we don't even know if the victims haven't been paid yet. You're putting out that statement, alluding to the fact that they could be lying. That's dangerous, but you can't have your attorneys write up a letter saying, we're trying to get this together. We're working on it as a team. We don't necessarily know what's going on. Our heart, break for anyone who was wrongfully done throughout this process. And we are working on it. Like, boom, basic.
I think it literally would help her so much, just as viewers. I know she has fans, and I know she, I don't think I've ever really been a fan of Erika on the show. Not like a fan like as her, but on the show, I'm like, yeah, you're take it or leave it, really.
I mean, yeah, it's a really hard one to, JMW, ready for Garcelle to give it to Erika. It's time. Yes, next week's episode is going to be so good. We'll get to that by the end of this, but yes.
Okay, yeah. Okay, we're going to get into that because I think that's going to lead into a lot of conflict next week.
I agree. No, let's bash her. She was dark before the scandal. We don't agree on what she does, but I don't want to have the negativity. Same. I can't wait until Garcelle gathers Erika next week. Zach makes it hard to. Oh, okay. Illusion is the basis of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills this season. Miss Wilson, Erika's comment to Garcelle about big words. What's problematic? Most Black women being addressed like that would be furious, especially by a white lady. That wasn't actually Erika who said that. That was Crystal who said that. Just to kind of clarify. So we'll get into that right now. We had the moment where they're all sitting down and they went out to dinner in Mexico. And in this moment, of course, we have Lisa Rinna, and Lisa Rinna wants to know, okay, was there anything that I missed? Right? After talking about Lois, she's like, is there anything that I missed? And then there's this whole elephant in the room. And finally, they break the ice and they talk about the dark comment. And
I was shocked that Sutton broke the ice again, because she's like, I've heard you all have been talking about me and having multiple conversations behind my back about something. And I want to get it out there and I want to clarify and clear my name here.
I think that that's important, though. She needs to jump in and do that. Take control over the narrative. Margaret Joseph said that on stage in New York. She was like, get ahead of the narrative. That's why Margaret and Teresa fought all last season, because she wanted Louis to get ahead of the narrative before it spiraled into a snowball. And that's not what they did. So for this situation, Sutton is actually really smart to be like, I want to call this out, put it on the table. Let's talk about it, because this can be very damaging. Now they all go around, and Erika is also putting kind of Sutton and Crystal on the spot. And she's like, you want to get ahead of this because you don't want people to think that you're a racist. And Sutton just looks at her and she's like, and Sutton, if daggers could be thrown from someone's eyes, she's looking at Crystal and she's throwing those daggers. Guys, 600 in the room. Smash that like
yeah, that was intense. I don't think I've ever seen Sutton so, genuine, authentic in the way her emotions were portrayed, the way she looked at Crystal and she was talking to Crystal. And then, but it's so funny because, fuel kept being added to the fire by Lisa Rinna. When Sutton says, oh, now it looks bad. She's like, yeah, it looks bad. And then you have, Erika throwing in things like this. I was like, oh my God. But Sutton, when when you just see red, like Sutton is in this moment, and you're just hearing this stuff come like, oh yeah, this is bad. Or, we need to discuss this because, otherwise people are going to think you're a racist. It really fueled Sutton. Yeah. And she kept going in at Crystal and in at Crystal and in at Crystal. And I was like, whoa, we haven't seen this from Sutton.
Rob J in the city, you ladies sure are quiet. Boom, claws out. Lisa understood the assignment. And Elaine, oh, Rinna sneaking the spoon in to stir that pot. That's exactly what she did. It's almost like, and we know a lot of housewives. And I want to say this really quick. We've had conversations with housewives before where production will be like, this scene is boring. We need to get our shot. We're spending a lot of money having cameras out here. I don't care if you guys have to sit at this dinner for 3 hours or 9 hours. We're sitting here until one of you give us the shot. So if you're not going to give us the shot, somebody needs to let's wrap this up. And Lisa seems to be the one that's always like, I'm not sitting here all night. Hey guys, you seem a little quiet. What happened while I was gone? And boom, here we go. Like Rob J in the city said, she understands the assignment.
She does. And I have to say, we talked about this before. Am I a huge fan of Lisa Rinna? Not at all. I think she stirs a lot of shit. But I think in this situation, this is why Lisa Rinna belongs on the show.
I mean, Catherine, thank you for the super chat. Cindy, I feel like Erika and Rinna really riled her up. They have been doing that, and it's almost annoying to watch now because we're seeing it happen. And we see what they're doing. It's very obvious. They know exactly what they're doing. But when they're going back and forth, now we have Crystal and Garcelle going at each other on, at the table, and they bring up the pool comment. And none of the women can understand, how is that a dark comment? And then Crystal looks to Garcelle, hoping that, Garcelle will have her back on that. And she's like, you don't see that or find that to be problematic at all? And Garcelle's like, not in the way that you said dark comment. I was thinking it was going to be so much more damaging and worse than that. And Crystal's like, okay, fine. Let's leave it at that.
Very strange. Very strange. There was a comment someone said somewhere earlier about, it's dangerous the way Crystal weaponizes people of color, or that are they trying to weaponize race on reality TV? And I kind of believe that, yes, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, here's another one. Heather said, I think Crystal was being super sensitive and was thinking that she was going to have more support, but backtracked as soon as she realized Garcelle or the other women weren't buying it. When is Will Smith's ex-wife going to appear? I don't think we know just yet. I didn't see her on the preview for next week's episode, but she wasn't in Mexico. So I don't think so. Not yet. Maybe Crystal gets so nervous that she blurts things out due to anxiety. Maybe.
I mean, that's a great excuse.
Listen, I don't know, but you see where Erika and Lisa Rinna keep passing the baton back and forth. And when Lisa goes, like Sutton's like, this is going to be bad, you know? And Lisa's like, it's already bad. And just like looks over and she's like, it's already out there. It's bad. And I'm like, how did you just come from having this whole situation with your mom, which our hearts break for you, and it's just like you're throwing her back into a game. Like she picked up the controller and she's like, I'm MVP at this bitch. You know, we do know that but Erika and Lisa Rinna, their contracts are up after this season. So we heard the whole story about the doxed man. And was this Lisa Rinna's doing? Was it Kathy Hilton's doing? Was this
what a ridiculous story too.
A ridiculous story. Was the person just looking for attention?
They're all ridiculous. Yeah.
It's all ridiculous. But the person did say, this guy, Patrick, he said, Lisa Rinna hired me in hopes she concocted this plan with me in hopes to secure a storyline for next season. Is it true?
That won't be the storyline.
It won't be the storyline.
That's not a story. You know what I'm here for, though? Sign Lexa Prerica on for another season.
I mean, you wanted her off. So do you want Lexa Prerica?
I mean, listen, I don't know at this point. Let's see how the season plays out.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go ahead and bring up some callers. Jason, I know that you have to go somewhere. Do you want to sit on for callers or do you have to go now?
I'm going to go ahead and peace out. Guys, thank you so much for having me. I love our Beverly Hills recaps. I'm so glad we're back doing this, Adam.
Yes.
It's the best show to talk about.
All right. Now go to your appointment and Krista gave you $10 to go get whatever that medicine was.
Well, I need it.
Okay.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Love you. All right, guys, I'm going to start bringing up some callers. Again, I'll drop the link just in case we have callers in the room, but in case you missed it, I'll drop it again right now. And let's bring up our first caller, Aaron D. Guys, 650 in the room. Can we get to 700? Let's see.
Hi.
Okay, Aaron, I'm going to hit you with some tough questions because you are one with the unpopular opinion, but not to be confused with the unpopular opinion by Krista Marie. Okay, so what were your thoughts about Erika in this episode, looking at Sutton and saying, you're afraid that you're going to be painted as a racist, and her and Lisa Rinna back and forth passing the baton and stirring the pot? Is that how you looked at it or no?
I definitely think that Erika wants Sutton to pay this year for what she did last season. She's not holding back on that. She's throwing it out there a lot. I think she looked disappointed when it actually came out. She's like, oh, that was it? Thought it was dirtier. She looked a little disappointed to me, but it could have been editing, but that's
what I mean. No, I get it.
She's definitely going for Sutton.
For Diana Jenkins, really quick, when she was saying, oh, it took me an hour and a half and I don't even know where Encino is, and an hour and a half from Beverly Hills. Jason and I used to work in West Hollywood and also Beverly Hills. We lived in Sherman Oaks and it took us 30 minutes. Encino is right next to Sherman Oaks, let's say 45 minutes. It for damn sure is not taking you an hour and a half unless you're coming in rush hour traffic. But even from Beverly Hills, you're crossing over a mountain. Do you think that she's being a little ridiculous at this point? Or do you think that she's had money for long enough where she's just kind of adopted this way of being, and this is her true authentic self?
I think she's playing a character. That's my feeling. I think she's playing it up. She got told maybe to play it up. It doesn't seem authentic because she came from nothing. She's going to know how to pinch a penny. So,
right. And my next question for you is, do you feel for Crystal Kung-Minkoff or Sutton in this situation? Because Crystal said to Kyle, I shouldn't have said that. Right. Now I know, duly noted, if I wasn't going to actually say what the dark comment was, I should have never said this in the first place. Then it's like we put the dark comment to bed and we could have left it alone after the pool story, right? But that's not what happened. Krista went on Watch What Happens Live and she talked about how there was a more problematic story. Do you think that, how do you feel about Crystal bringing this up again?
Well, going into the season, Crystal was the one I most wanted to see more of this year and was most excited about. But she just annoyed me because if you're going to go for somebody, go for them. And I'm not a Sutton fan. I don't like Sutton actually very much at all. So I was surprised because Sutton does do some stuff she shouldn't say and rubs people the wrong way. But if you're going to start something about somebody, then you have to put it out there because that's not first of all, fair. She wanted her feelings being like recognized and acknowledged. But then what you're doing to Sutton is you're saying your feelings don't matter because I'm not even going to give you a chance to defend yourself.
Okay, and I don't know if you caught the last part of the episode where Sutton ends up saying to Crystal, and Lisa Rinna said that she's also heard this rumor that Crystal likes to put herself with like the most powerful person in the group, and she likes to have those friends. And she's heard, it's this rumor around Beverly Hills that Crystal is kind of a social climber, which really she doesn't need to be. Her husband has a huge career, a massive resume, and she has a beautiful life. But are you believing it, or do you think that this is used in retaliation to kind of diffuse the dark statement?
I think Crystal, even on Watch What Happens Live, didn't really defend that. So I kind of wonder if that's true, because if it wasn't true, she would have been like, no, I have friends from all sorts. But she's like, no, I have the most powerful friends. So Crystal herself made it seem like it's true. So,
and Crystal did say too, she's like, you know what? Sutton and I don't have any mutual friends, so I don't know what the hell she's talking about.
Whoa, I did miss that. That's horrible.
I mean, well, is it horrible or is it just true?
No, I think it's a dig. I think she dug at Sutton because Sutton, she thought maybe everybody didn't like the season and she'd get in with. And she definitely went to Garcelle during the episode and was like, you agree with me, right, Garcelle? And when Garcelle was like, no, not really, she was like, she backed down fast. So
okay.
She definitely was trying to make it with Garcelle.
Okay. Aaron D., I appreciate you and answering my lightning round questions. I'm going to go ahead and bring up some more callers. And thank you so much. And thank you for all of the sweet DMs. I really, really, really appreciate you.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye, Aaron. All right, guys, we have 650 in the room. I see new callers, and then I see a few of our familiar faces from the Addams family. I'm going to bring up some of our new callers. I see Nikki, Jen, Gabriella, Krista. Let's go ahead. Hi, Nikki.
Hi, Adam.
How are you?
I'm good. I just wanted to say, I think Crystal, I don't know. I think she wants to be liked or whatever. I think she wants to be a part of the cool crowd. But I also think that Sutton probably said something problematic and that they have talked it out, and they don't, either one of them really want to bring it back out, because I think it's bad for both of them on some level. But I really feel like everyone's gaslighting Crystal, because she came because Garcelle begged her to come to, after she left the night before or whatever. They were like, please come back. We'll just have a cute chat for, a few minutes. I think Garcelle said like 10 minutes or something. And then Garcelle was the one that asked her, or basically said, I felt like you set Sutton up. So I felt like, if I felt attacked the night before, I felt like no one was listening to me the night before, and then y'all asked me to come over here, and then when I get here, you're like, well, I think you set up Sutton last year. And I love Garcelle and Sutton, but I just felt like
it was a setup.
I just didn't understand that. I'm like, why wouldn't you just, if you really felt that was the case, why not say that to her if you're really friends with her outside of this circle? If you really felt deeply that maybe Crystal was setting your friend up, I would have a problem with that if I truly felt that in my heart. So I'm like, I don't know why everyone's like, well, Crystal is just throwing Sutton under the bus. Not really. If she felt like she said something that's bad, and Crystal's response is, I don't want to say it because it's bad. Yes, I agree. You shouldn't bring it up. I do agree with that part of it. But I feel like she brought it up because they asked her. It's not like she walked in and said, Sutton's problematic and Sutton did this or that. They talked to her about it.
Which there could be a little bit of hypocrisy here, because what Garcelle's accusing Crystal of potentially doing, you're saying that Garcelle might have just actually did to Crystal by inviting her in, to making her think that it was a safe space and being like, actually, I feel like no matter what Sutton said, you were going to say, oh, you're that girl.
That's my point. Exactly. Now, that being said, I do think Crystal is, what's the right word? Like, I liked Crystal initially, but then I didn't like when she said something to the effect of like, I didn't know Sutton. No one knew Sutton, never heard of Sutton. That to me is kind of one of those elitist type of comments. But I really feel like her and Sutton have moved forward. Sutton seems likable. The thing about Sutton, I think people of color will forgive her, is because she seems like she realizes she messed up or realizes that she said something wrong, and she's willing to say, I'm sorry, my bad. I think that's why people give Sutton an extra, plus she's quirky and weird, And weird in a good way. I'm not mean, mean it in a mean way, but like she's just different. She's socially awkward on a level, but I love her. But last thing I want to say is I don't understand why Diana is in this group of women. She's just, oh my gosh, she's reaching. She just wants attention so bad. Like to me, worse than Rinna on some level. But
she's giving you cringe.
Yeah, I don't like her, and that's my middle name, Diana, and I can't with her.
You're already ruining it for me, girl. You're ruining it for me.
I can't with her. I just don't know. I hope they really get rid of her. And where is Kathy Hilton? I know you have the end. Where is she?
I think 2-3 more episodes.
Oh, okay. Well, I like Kathy Hilton. And let me just say this one last thing before you drop me out. I really believe if Kathy Hilton did not say anything racist or homophobic, I don't understand if she did say that, why Kyle, or didn't say it, why Kyle isn't screaming from the rooftops, Rinna's lying on my sister.
Right.
Like, if she truly knows that her sister is not racist and homophobic, she would be out there like, oh, hell no, Rinna, you have to shut that down. But something is amiss. Something's afoot to me. Because Kyle is way too quiet. I haven't heard one thing about it.
No, I am very confused by this, but I think that, there's been so many rumors at this point that we just have to wait and see if it plays out in Aspen. And who knows if Kathy Hilton sent a cease and desist or whatever to make sure that this, whatever it was, didn't air. But they also said the comment was never filmed because it was when they weren't filming. But who knows if Bravo will let Lisa, Rinna, and Erika say what the comment was that was so problematic. But we'll have to wait and see.
I think that's very true, but what I don't understand is Kyle is always talking about be honest, just say what it is. We saw it through when Denise was on, just be honest, tell us the truth. But like, she hasn't said one word. She could say Rinna is lying on my sister. She could just say that, but she hasn't said it. So it's like, why are you allowing, because to me, it's kind of like what everyone's saying about Crystal. Why are you allowing people to make up their own, in their mind, what Sutton may have said? It's the same thing with Rinna. If Rinna's outside running around telling people that your sisters are racist and she's homophobic, if I know that's not my sister, I'm going to say, hey, no. Especially if you're the queen of the show.
Unless she looks at Lisa Rinna like she's dangerous and Lisa Rinna has something on Kyle Richards and her family and she doesn't want that to be exposed. That's
probably true. Because Kyle and Lisa are the most slithery people. I can't. They're very, very slithery. And then when Rinna's being the most slithery, pay attention to Rinna when she's the most slithery. She just starts looking up in the air, like how she was at that dinner, the dark dinner where Erika was really, really bullying Sutton. She was looking in the air. She starts looking. She was looking in the air when Garcelle brought up the whole Erika. Tom calls Erika thing. Rinna's looking up in the air because she feels very uncomfortable because she knows it's wrong. But if she feels like she's in the right, she's gonna go like right in on you. And Kyle's the same way. Like, they are the mean girls of Beverly Hills, and I really, really do believe that. But like you guys have said multiple times, we need Rinna. It's because she's good for TV. Unfortunately,
she's good for TV.
She's a terrible human being, but she's good for TV.
I appreciate you, Nikki. I appreciate you calling in. And next week, we're going to be doing this again on Thursdays. I thought we were bringing back hot, messy topics this week. I didn't realize Jason was going to get food poisoning and all of this other stuff was going to happen. But I also, anniversary, all kinds of shit. But we will be back next week, especially with the recaps. And I would love for you to call back in.
Absolutely. I got you, Adam.
All right.
And don't let Zach continuously gaslight you about Erika. Okay. That's what he does. He's like, no, he makes a million excuses for her, and something's wrong there. Anyway,
you said it.
Thank you for having me on. Have a good one.
All right, bye, Nikki.
Bye.
All right, I'm going to bring up 2 callers at a time because I see we have a full room. So I'm going to bring up Jen and El Michelle, and then I'm going to bring up Krista and Joe Mendoza. Hi, Jen.
Hi, Adam. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you.
Hi, El Michelle.
Hello. How are y'all?
Good. Oh, the audio is great, guys. That's awesome. So hi, first of all, welcome in. And thank you for calling in for the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills recap. But let's just get to the juice of what's going on here. What do you think? And I'm going to start with you. Am I saying it right, Jen?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So Jen, I'm going to start with you because you called in first. What is the most cringy moment from this episode that you took away?
honestly, for me, I think would be Erika.
What
Because she
what
just,
about her?
I don't know, she just kept interrupting the conversation with everybody. Like, just like saying like, you probably don't want everybody to think you're racist or something like that, while Sutton's like trying to explain the whole situation. I just think she just keep butting in. I just like,
Do
can you let her finish?
Do you think Erika was actually like what I believe Nikki said this? Do you think Erika was, or maybe even Aaron said it? Do you think Erika was hoping that when Crystal said that there was something dark said, that it was much worse than what it was because this was the moment that Sutton was going to be put on the spot and Erika sitting back like, oh, you tried to get me last year. We're about to ruin you.
Yeah, because I honestly, I think Erika is trying to gather everybody to get up on Sutton. That's my takeaway from her.
Okay. And El Michelle, what about you?
Okay, so for me, I want to address the Erika situation. Erika has become irrelevant for me. It's so interesting. Every time she tries to talk and like interject, it's just like, okay, girl, all right. And every time she tries to comfort Sutton, it almost is ignored at this point, it seems like to me. And I'm excited to see when Garcelle kind of addresses Erika like, girl, chime down, pipe down. Like you keep trying to act like you have an issue with Sutton, but Sutton literally was asking the questions that the world was asking. And you have an issue with the fact that she has a backbone. I mean, it's a backbone, it's a little sway, Sutton, but like she has a backbone and she was talking, not really talking back to you, but she was asking the questions. And just because someone is not up your behind, like the rest of your Fox 5 girls, whatever their names are, they have an issue with. Now, the person that was most cringy for me though is Crystal. For me, Crystal was to me is the problematic one for me. Because how dare you? I mean, first of all, for these shows, the fact that they have a problem with saying you don't want to be considered racist is very interesting to me because that's point blank period. She doesn't want to be considered racist.
You forgot the dot at the end.
I'm sorry?
Point blank period dot.
I didn't hear dots.
Yeah.
I love Chanel. Yeah, you don't want to be considered racist. So the fact that she's throwing things out there who you're supposed to be friends with, and I feel like the reason why she threw Sutton under the bus about this dark comment is because of what Garcelle, yes, Garcelle did bring it up, but Garcelle is telling to me the truth. Like, I feel like you were going to say you're the type of person that doesn't see color, because I feel like I know women like Sutton. I'm from the South. I live in Atlanta. I'm from South Carolina. So I know women like Sutton. Like, they might say something problematic, but they're only saying what they're used to hearing or what they know. They don't have a disrespectful or mean bone in their body, but they also want to understand. They want to listen. They want to understand where you're coming from, but they don't want to be mean about it. And so I feel like when Crystal threw her friend under the bus because she felt like Garcelle was coming with smoke at her, I felt like that was some underhanded ish. And those are the type of people that you don't want to be around. And I do believe what they said about, just in that instance alone, I do believe what they said about Crystal. Like, she's the girl who will say something to the other girls that's disheartening or disrespectful about one of the girls in the group, just so she could stay closer to the queen bee. And I'm like, who's the queen bee to you right now, Crystal? Is it Kyle? Is it Diane? Like, who's the queen bee to you right now? And are you trying to get that queen bee role? And also, one more thing. I'm sorry, Adam. I don't mean to keep on a tangent.
Oh my God.
I saw her. I did see her on Watch What Happens Live, and her next to Chanel Ayan made me go like, I don't want a housewife like Crystal, because that whole coy of like throwing something out there and like taking it back. I don't want to say it. I don't want to say, girl, live in your truth and say what happened. Like, just say it, because she lied so many times throughout the show as it relates to this dark comment. First, it was Kyle was there and Kyle doesn't remember because she was drunk. Okay, now it was the conversation about what happened by the pool. at the pool, which was in a whole day different later. And the conversation was had around the other girls. And now you want to tell us that's not the comment on Watch What Happens Live, but yet you look at Garcelle and say, doesn't that seem problematic? Girl, like, which one is it? Like, I'm sorry.
You don't like the flip-flopping.
I don't like the flip-flopping.
No,
and
that's
I
fair.
want my housewives to stand in the truth. And that's my issue with Crystal. Like, they can take Crystal. I wanted to like Crystal. Like, I liked Crystal last season. I wanted to get to know her this season, like the other caller said. But after this, after that Watch What Happened Live episode where I felt like she was fake dealing with Chanel Ayan, I'm like, oh, now you see Chanel Ayan is the it girl, like, coming up through the housewives, and now here you are taking selfies, holding her hand. Oh my God, like, girl, get out of here. Like, I see you.
You know what's so funny to me too is I know based on a few conversations that I had that Crystal was told by producers coming into this season, listen, last season you had the training wheels on, you came in, you were trying to figure out, you've never done this before, reality TV, and you had to see how this works. So this season, we really need you to ramp it up. So I'm wondering if some of the pressures from producers kind of played a role in her putting something out there. And then she probably thought in her mind, and this is just playing devil's advocate, trying to understand, because who knows? I'm wondering if she was like, oh shit, what did I say? I was put in a position where like they're kind of pushing me to say something, and then I said that, and now I can't take it back. They're going to roll with this, and now this is going to be my storyline.
Well, also,
I do feel that way, and it's so interesting. I'm sorry.
No problem. I'm just wanting to point it out. Isn't Crystal also Teddy's friend before the show, before she joined the cast?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, they're actually friends.
And see, look where Teddy ended up. Two T's in a pod.
I think the reason why Crystal doesn't want to walk back or say dark is too strong of a word is because then we're going to have to harp back on violate was too strong of a word. Like, I feel like that's the reason why she will not take back it wasn't dark. Like, stop saying that. Oh,
so you think it's more of like a not an ego, but it's more of like you know what I'm trying to say? It's like
she's like holding on to, she has to be right or something. Like, she has to be right in the last conversation to be right in this conversation. And also, how dare you say to Kyle, like, you shouldn't use the word gaslighting. Gaslighting is a strong word. Chick, you just not said, but like, you getting on us about the words that you use, but you have a problem with, she says gaslight, which I feel is correct in this situation based on everything that the cameras have shown me. I'm sorry.
Well, Al, Michelle, Jen, I appreciate both of you calling in. And please, this was actually really great. And I can see in the chat that everyone loves you both. So will you, if you don't mind, next Thursday when we do this again at 12, I would love to have both of you back.
I will take a break at work and come talk to you. Yes.
Hey, we appreciate that. That's commitment.
Yes, it is. Y'all have a good one.
All right, guys, we're going to bring up our last two callers. We have over 710 in the room. I'm going to bring up Joe Mendoza and Krista Marie Miller to help end us off before we have, I guess, a curious day. I don't know. Like, I have to figure out what is going on over here with Jay, but we'll figure it out. Yeah, Jason.
Are you going over here? Over there?
Well, no, he's technically gone because I heard him exit the building, but I'll figure it out.
Okay.
I felt so bad this morning when I woke up and he's like, and I was like, you got work.
It's not, Jay. I'm Adam. No, man, food poisoning. Well, I'm telling you, that is what made me stop eating meat almost.
I feel like I should call the restaurant and be like, hello.
Wait, what does Emetrol supposed to do?
It's almost like a Coke syrup they give it to babies when they're nauseous. I'm telling you, it was the only thing that stopped my food poisoning, me throwing up. I didn't know what was happening. It was horrible. It took me out for like 10 hours, and then the whole next day I couldn't stop throwing up both ends. It was the worst thing that ever happened to me.
Oh, okay. We're gonna change the conversation from the nastiness.
Yeah, no, Jason will be fine. It's like
he doesn't look fine, Joe.
It's like it's all
good. Joe.
He doesn't look fine. Adam making him work.
No, it's all good. It's all about cleansing.
Jason, I love you. You need to rest. Don't listen to them. I got you. I got you, friend. I got you, bud.
All right. Well, I wanted to ask Krista, you and Joe both the same thing, because we've pretty much talked about most of the episode, unless there's something really important that you want to chime in on. But we see in next week's episode where Garcelle finally has like a breaking point with Erika, and she says, Erika, you're...
What?
My stuff is over here vibrating. I don't know what's going on. But she's like, Erika, you know, at this point, you're starting to really irritate me, or something to that effect. And I thought that was hilarious. You see,
bugging me, right?
Huh?
That's what she said. You're starting to bug me the fuck out. I think that's what she said.
Is that what she said?
Yes,
Yeah, I think so.
Oh my God.
Like,
So
what
what
are
are
her and Liar hiding behind it? I mean, Lisa hiding behind those darn aviator glasses every week. Like, there's something, you're hiding something behind them glasses. The both of them. It's what I'm saying. They're shady AF. They wear these aviator glasses. It looks ridiculous. Her and Rinna.
Girl, you're reading too much into it. It's bright. It's bright and sunny.
Okay. Joe, please. You and Zach are trying to irritate me with this Erika stuff, aren't you?
Well, go get irritated then.
What is going on? Do we have?
I don't even know. I have no idea. So I guess I'm.
Krista, Joe, it's all love here. Okay,
It is all love. I thought
we're good.
This is me right now.
We're good.
Yeah, we're good.
This is
all good.
I got something in my eye. Sorry, my eye hurt.
This is Krista and Joe right now.
That is my face right now.
All right. So, what are you looking forward to, both like going into next week's episode? I'm going to start with you, Krista, and then I'm going to go to Joe.
What am I looking forward to?
Garcelle getting Erika together?
I mean, no, I just I want resolve. I'm tired of this crap. Rinna, or first of all, Sutton, whatever, this whole thing with the comment was, it was completely ridiculous. She was, in the beginning, I thought when she was sticking up for Sutton, saying, don't tell her how to feel, whatever, I was like, good for you, Crystal. And then when she turned it around, I agree with everything Nikki said. Like, it just, I want resolve. I'm so tired of the same crack every week. I'm tired of the cryptic posts, the cryptic comments. I'm not going to tell you the whole story comments. And then Erika getting off on everything with Diana and getting off on them going after Sutton. I'm sick of the bullying. Like, it has to end. So, like, we need to move on. Like, when they sit down and they, like, try to have a conversation, it's like a bunch of bullies coming after them. They're laughing and cackling and telling everybody how they're supposed to feel. And I think, yes, Crystal might have said that, but Garcelle did say something to her, and she said, well, I said that because of this. But then you need to say the comment then. Don't, you know what I mean? When Sutton said, just say it. I'm giving you permission to say or whatever. And I thought she did. But I thought Sutton said, like, I'm telling you, you're literally, you're trying to wear my character down. Like,
no. So here's my take on it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Sutton told Garcelle everything. And when Crystal asked Garcelle, did you think that was problematic? I think Crystal assumed that Sutton, as her friend, told Garcelle everything that happened in that conversation.
I thought we knew everything that happened in that conversation.
Well, no,
not in what was shown on TV.
No, so she did on Watch What Happens Live. She said that wasn't the true story. That wasn't the problematic story.
Come on, man. I'm over it.
I mean, here's the thing.
I agree, Joe.
I can totally understand where the rest of the viewers are coming from, but I don't know. I can't shake this feeling that there is something there. I know what it looks like, and like I can totally understand where people are coming from, where people are saying like, hey, like, if Crystal was going to say this and be like, yo, just go say the comment, Crystal owned it. She said like, okay, well, I shouldn't have said it, and I'm not going to say it again, because from her standpoint, she and Sutton had already talked about this.
Then why are we talking?
The cameras were down, and they had already resolved it. She's gone past it. And now she wasn't the one bringing it up. It's the rest of the girls that want to get the answers. And she doesn't want, it to come from her. But everybody else is egging Sutton on to be like, hey, you should feel this way because she's trying to bring this up and she's making you look like a racist. And obviously Erika was like, yeah, they're trying to make you look like a racist, and Erika's trying to put that label on her because it's her plot this time to make sure that she gets a revenge on Sutton. But to that point, I think there is something else there. I'm just gonna wait a couple more episodes to see how it looks like. But at the end of the day,
I don't want to.
Sutton and Garcelle are still friends. They're hanging out. So something was resolved, and I think I saw in one of Crystal's interviews that Garcelle, and Sutton had long conversations like after filming, and they were able to sort it out. So there were some additional conversations that probably all three of them agreed not to get out during filming, because they also have to group together to fight the Fox Force 5.
Okay. Okay. Listen, there's a lot happening. We're all family here. Okay.
No, I'm agreeing with them. I'm not going to make a comment. I want it to be over. I don't want to talk about it anymore.
I agree with Krista, and I agree with Joe. And I think that this.
And I love Joe.
And I just want Kathy Hilton to be on the show already. I want to see what's going on with Kathy.
Oh, I have a question for you, Adam.
Yeah.
If Diana and Kathy are on the same group trip, who do you think gets their way in getting the presidential suite?
Diana. I don't think Kathy cares.
Really?
Yeah, she just wants her fans. She's good. She stayed in some really crappy rooms on the last group trips.
Oh, true.
Yeah, I think it's Diana, and I think that Diana, if she didn't get her way, Diana would be the one to be like, you guys stay in that villa. I'm renting a penthouse, and then I'll meet you guys for filming.
Oh God, please, I can't.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, she's definitely living it up for the camera. I can get the part where she's lived 20 years with this really abrupt, like luxurious lifestyle, but you can't just deny
Did you not shop
had
when you were poor
25 years prior to that where you were poor.
And you shopped in a store.
Easily forget.
Yeah, I'm sure there was dust bunnies 25 years ago in the stores. I'm pretty sure they were there.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, guys, we're gonna have to stay tuned, and with that, we're an hour and 3 minutes in. We have more to talk about, more pre-records coming, and then my first video tomorrow is going to be, just while I have you guys on, it's going to be a big announcement for the channel. I always try not to say anything until we actually have our shit together. That's why
what did I say about the cryptic stuff? Stop it. I'm over the cryptic.
I mean, but listen, at least I bring it through. I don't just like tease and then everybody's like, Adam, you're not actually having anything going on. And I'm like, just give me a second. And that's why I've learned not to say anything. But Jason spent all week putting this together. So it's coming out tomorrow. It's going to be my first video drop, and you guys will see then. But Joe Mendoza, Krista Marie Miller, we love you guys, and everybody in the live chat and all of the callers. Thank you so much for calling in, and I can't wait next week to just battle this out again.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, Adam, by the way, watch that YouTube video I sent you on Insta.
Okay.
Let me know what you think.
Okay.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys. All right, guys, that was interesting to say the least. Thank you guys so much for everybody in the live chat. Thank you for our new callers. Thank you for just our mods, the super chats, super stickers, and thank you to Jason for just muscling through the food poisoning in order to make this happen too. I love you guys. We appreciate you. We have pre-records coming your way, and we'll see you so very soon. Bye, guys. Look for the big announcement tomorrow. Bye, bye, bye. Bye. Bye.